Hello, YouTube. This is Matt Pullen, and it is that time of day when we play games of chess on the internet and record our screens. Well, you don't have to do that, but I'm going to do that. All right, so I think I'll go back to the 5-2, the longer time control, and seek a game and see what is going on. So I'm not going to try and, I'm not going to try and make my opening super fast this time. I'm just going to play normally. Well, relatively normally. Okay. Good. Look over on the seek graph. And, okay, here's a game. Rod Groped Carls. Alright. Yeah. It says hi, and I will also say hi. Alright, so we have a ready opening going on here, a possible Catalan if I play d4. He says, am prince from Zambia, and you, and I will say, not prince. Regular guy. So decisions here. He is definitely taking on c4 as a possibility. Do I want to play d4, go into a Catalan, or do I want to play b3 to maintain the tension? What is your name? This guy wants to talk a lot. See, I think I'll play... Oh, Prince is his name. I thought he was saying he was a prince from Zambia. Alright. So, shadow and see what he is up to here. Alright, e3. So he's trying to gain some space in the center, and I will play this sort of like a reversed Benoni. Exchange the center pawns, and I will play d3. Yes, or FIDE rated. I say, yeah. Do I want to play d3 right? Do I want to play pawn to d3 right away? Is his pawn to d3 really a threat? I think. Can I possibly throw in rook e1 or a3 first? No, probably a3 because knight b4 can be annoying if I allow him, rook e1, knight b4, and jump onto. All right, so now rook e1, and then if he plays pawn to d3, I can play knight e5, and in the event of a trade of knights, this rook comes to e5 and can go to b5 with pressure on his queen side. That's a possibility if he advances his pawn to d3, which I'm letting him do. If he doesn't do that, I can just play pawn d3 myself and then bring the knight d2. And all right, queen b3. I think maybe it's time just to play d3 myself and then knight d2, bring knight b d2, and then go from there. Right. All right. So knight, he clearly wants to bring his knight to c5. See, knight d2, knight d5, d3. All right. So he's got to play knight c5, and I'll just play queen c2 to defend that pawn, and then I'll play like rook b1, bishop a1, and try and play for b4. Although he does have a lot of guys on b4. So maybe what I want to do is try and get my... What is he doing here? He's bringing guys away from his king side, so I feel like I should be trying to do something against his king side. Maybe rook b1 just as a preparatory move. Oh, rook b1 and then bishop a1 to drop my a pawn. So let's not do that. Let's see. Should play knight. I gotta bring that my f knight to d2 instead. Oh wait, I can't do that because I would be hanging my my d pawn. So we could play knight c5, or if he plays knight c5 here, I have to exchange. So maybe that was inaccurate. I'm trying to play like h4, knight g5, and try and get some action on the king side. Because he's sort of bunched up his guys on the queen, he's sort of bunched up his guys on the queen side. h6, so he wants to play f5, and then my knight will have nowhere to go. Can I play h4 to prevent this? No, that doesn't prevent that, because then I'd have to play knight to g5, and that's a piece sacrifice. How about g4, so my knight has somewhere to go on g3? It's kind of a weird solution, but I could also be trying to play like h4, g5 with this move as well. So I think maybe my bishop on b2 should go back to c1 so I can play rook b1 to defend my b pawn. My d3 pawn is already defended because you know, I got my queen on it and no knight's blocking on d2. So what I want to be playing, I think, is alright, so he's hitting b3 twice, and alright, I think I have to trade here, I think. So now he could be planning to play e5 and pressure on g4, so knight d2, knight e4, or yes, I'll just relocate this knight to e4 now. Alright, the g4 pawn is protected, so I'll just pop out here and gain a tempo. Alright, so he wants to like bury his queen in my king side. I'll bring this bishop to f4, g3 to kick out the queen. So his queen got over to the king side really quick, and now maybe my g4 pawn is not looking like such a great idea. So maybe I can play rook b1 and b4 really quickly, and see here. I believe I have to take this. And now he has a potentially backward pawn on, but I've had problems with my h-pawn. Do I want to play king h2 to defend this pawn? Or queen f3 to queen g3 and try and trade off the queens? I think I want to try and trade off the queens. So he's probably going to avoid this with queen h5. Can I bring the bishop f3? And then no, because my h-pawn would be hanging. So I'll just develop this guy here. Still trying to play b4 at some point. And alright, I didn't see this move at all. Hitting f2 potentially. Alright. How do I meet this threat? He wants to play bishop. He's got this discovered attack if he wants with, you know, the bishop taking on h3 or taking on e4, and then his rook is attacking f2. Or he could just take queens and then take on h3. So I'm dropping a pawn here. But, you know, that's okay, because I have some serious issues. And maybe trading the pieces will help me get rid of them. Alright, if bishop takes, he's taking on f2, so I think I'll rook take. And then take on h4. But then he takes on d3, so this is clearly not what I wanted. And it looks like I'm just outright losing the game here. Let's just play some moves quickly and see what is going on. Yeah, it was rather depressing, because it was, you know, the ready opening used to be one of my favorite openings, you know, and I was, and I just didn't play that middle game very well at all, and I didn't feel that like my opponent was particularly strong. It's just that I just missed that one move, bishop h4 out, you know, just sort of missed that outright, and he moved all his pieces from the queen side out to the king side, and I wasn't really doing anything, you know, in return. So I do have some counter pressure on the b7 pawn. Of course, there's nothing really that I can attack, so I'm just sort of waiting to lose here. Maybe come in with my king and try and attack his h-pawn. Of course, he could play h5 here and stop my king from coming in. Alright, do I take here? No, I do not. Alright, he's threatening a3. Let's just move it. Oh, of course, he's trying to take that. Check, try and skewer, grab that pawn. Now let's stop him from... This is totally helpless, of course. And, wait, there's an increment too, so why am I even playing this? Alright, so I guess we'll seek a new game. Yeah, that just wasn't very good. Alright, this is a 3-minute game, so I will use my quick opening for this game. F3. Oh, that's such a funky looking move. But I really want to play E4, that's the point of that. And of course he's going to target the 8. No, he didn't target my h4 pawn. I'm surprised. Just going to play g3, bishop h3, and see how he responds to this. It's a very, very closed position. Well, it's not very closed, but there's not a whole lot of central activity happening here. Ooh, that's tricky. He wants to take advantage of the pin on my queen. But where's that knight going, actually? See, b4, do I need to play a3 first? Or do I play knight c4? No, knight c4 doesn't do anything. a3, because maybe b4 is sensitive, and now maybe b3 to support knight c4. So what am I actually doing here? See, now f3 is f3 being under attack. Maybe no, but I'll just drop back the bishop, just to be sure, because the bishop was not doing anything on g3. Or now I'll just come back and annoy him. Can I castle here? Can I just castle him? Alright, so he got impatient, and now can I just castle and solve my problems? See, it guards the rook and guards f2, and oh shit, he's gonna play bishop h, or queen h1, and win. So let's take there. Alright, and now just bring this guy back. So actually, he did get a lot of compensation for that guy. But see, am I up on time? Just a little bit. If he brings his rook to d8, I play queen b2. That's the only safe square where I can keep a hold of my stuff. And he can play queen g2 check at any time. I want to play king e1 in response to that. Alright, so here he's preventing that by hitting the bishop. And, what can I play here? I have to do something like queen c1 to guard that piece. I don't know, this is a tricky position. Maybe I have to play queen c1 here. So that exchange stack of his was actually pretty good. Just going to advance, maybe bishop to g5 to try and trade off those. No, we'll just play bishop c4 check. So I'll play preemptive king e1. Of course, now f4, then I can't take because if bishop takes h4. So I'd have to play like bishop takes, and then knight takes on f4, forking his. No, but then he has queen takes g3. Alright, he didn't play that. Just rook a2 to get out of that potential discovered attack. And stop him from coming into d5. And then b4 to now guard the g pawn. So queen f4, maybe I'm developing into... Alright, he's threatening to... And I'm mating him, and... Oh, he actually resigned at this point. Alright, he's offering me a rematch, so... Sure. Oh, shoot. I didn't want to play that. I didn't want to play e6 against his b3 move. So I'm actually at that same kind of setup that I got before. It's funny, this looks exactly like that garbage opening that I played in the last game. So I'm going to play against this idea that he's pushing on the... Alright, I'll trade those bishops. This was my bad bishop, so I don't mind so much. Alright. She really wants to fight for the f5 square. He does not want me to do anything. Alright, but can he really prevent that for long? So I want to play f5, obviously, because that's where my pawns are pointing. See, can I just play f5 anyway here? Be provocative. I mean, he can take and bring my king out, but so what? Queen d2 check, just king g7. So I feel I have a better position with black than I did with white last game. It's interesting. What do I take with here? If I take with pawn, he might have queen d2 and then queen g5. But what if I take with pawn and then push f4? That's possible when he plays queen d2 check. I'll take there. Queen takes, maybe I play... Maybe I'll just play king there to threaten the pawn. So I'm threatening to play queen takes here. And then maybe I want to play rook h8 and h5 to... See, I'm using my king as a fighting... Alright, he's threatening h7, so I have to guard that. Rook h8. And h5. With the idea of using this h-file. Alright, he wants to just run with his king, so... If I activate I want the queens to trade off, because I have a space advantage. And I have custody over the h-file. I don't think he's going to trade the queens. If he doesn't, then I bring my other rook in to the h-file and play like rook... How do I actually get in to his position? He does want to trade. Alright. So I'll start out by pinning this pawn, and then maybe threatening it, and blockading it. Alright, and how do I actually enter the position here? I'll go to the h-file and come into h1. Alright, so h-file here, and take a rook off. So I want to play e4. That would be the desired break. Of course, maybe he plays rook h1 here. That's what he's thinking about. He's thinking about playing rook h1. That was a weak move. I meant to play rook e7. And I will go after those guys. Now I will go after this guy. If king e4, then king g3, and he has to move his king away, so I win the... Okay, I thought he was going to play king d3 instead. So here, if I take, he just takes, so I'll play my king there. Now this is just a race condition. So he takes and then takes, and... Wow. I just managed to lose this, didn't I? Okay. And, wow, so I played for a win that I did not deserve in the endgame, and it could have cost me a lot, but it was drawn because he ran out of time. Anyway, those were some live Blitz games.